Okay, I'm here in a 2018 Wonder, and my friend Tyler came down because he had this solar controller installed, and it's really taking up a lot of space in his wardrobe, so we're going to move it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do to get this monstrosity out of his wardrobe is take all these screws out and disconnect it. What a hodgepodge of wiring. They got number 6 wire mixed with number 10 wire. I mean, sadly, this is what I see quite often is people have installations done, and obviously the people doing it didn't know what they were doing. Okay, so I've got his Lion Energy batteries out. I've put one of the Lithionics terminal covers over the positive because I always treat positives like they're hot. And I see that his installer, this is like a number 12 wire that Leisure used for his, whatever his original solar option, must have been 200 watts. And this is actually labeled 15 amps max. So whoever installed his new solar system, all they did was slap a 30 amp fuse in here instead of making this the right wire size. I mean, this is horrible. And Tyler tells me that he only maybe saw 100 watts, possibly 200 watts out of his system. So this is good. We're addressing all this. Okay, so now we have all that monstrosity removed, and so he has his wardrobe back. Now what should have happened, and what we're going to do, is basically they should have spliced these two ground wires together, which brings the connection to the ground in the battery box, and then they should have spliced these two positive wires together, which completes the connection to the positive wire that's going to the battery box. And then we're going to splice onto those wires in the battery box to move the solar controller to the battery box and have it connected correctly. Okay, here we are on the back side of the battery box, and this is where all the ground cables connect. So we're going to find which one of these cables is the solar ground, and it should say on it somewhere. So anyway, I'm going to have to get these cables off so I can read what the cables say and find the solar ground. Well, it turns out that the ground for the solar doesn't go directly to the battery box. It goes to this ground bar on the very bottom floor of the wardrobe, and this one is the solar. There's two number 8s, and I disconnected them both, but you can see, I don't know if you can see, but this one actually says solar under that little black stuff right there. So I just pushed a coat hanger through the blob, and we're going to fish up another wire so I can splice it to there to pick up the ground for the solar panels. Okay, we pulled up a new wire, and I'm going to start crimping those two wires together. Okay, so now we have spliced on a piece to the solar ground to go to the battery box. And we'll button this back. Okay, panels all put, whoops, I forgot one screw. Anyway, I'll put that screw down, but the panel's back in. Okay, so I spliced onto the wires and brought them through that hole. So I've spliced from the original solar panel wires to now bring the solar panel power connection down on these 2 wires. So this is the negative for the solar panels and the positive solar panels. We've mounted our Victron solar controller. I've got 2 40 amp breakers, circuit breakers that I'm going to be putting up. One for the panel and one for the batteries. And I'm going to put those in this back corner here because ultimately we're going to be doing a 3,000 watt inverter, so we're going to end up removing this wall and redoing things later. But for today, what we're doing is fixing his solar situation that he had with his bad installation on the solar controller, and the wiring to the mega fuse block. And then we'll be putting the Lithionics Boss battery right on the side of the wall right here. So I will get to work on that and come and show you what we did. Go. Okay, I'm using these what's called ferrules on the end of the wire to make it easier to thread in to the Victron controller. And then you don't have to worry about all those little strands errant strands sticking out and causing havoc between the wiring. Now I only have 1 screw in this because this is temporary for now, because we're going to end up putting in a 3,000 watt inverter. So I'm just putting it up temporarily to the next time we work on it. Alright, so that completes making the connections for the solar panels to the solar controller. The battery connection. So I gotta undo this. Ooh. Keep that out of the way. And where's my wire? You always want to put the smaller lug on top of the larger lug. Alright, and we are going to put a piece there. Okay, so now we're making we're putting the battery connection on a 40 amp circuit breaker. Oh, that's right. We were going to put number 6. We'll do number 6 one. Remind me when you come back. and then it'll be easy for you to upgrade to the 500.
Okay.
Piece of red. Okay, and this is going to go from here to here. So I'll just cut a little piece off. Gotta pick up all these pieces. There's another piece. We need our trash bag. Get all the strands in. This is the battery positive. Make sure that's tight. Okay, so that completes our connections for the battery positive. And last but not least, where's my wire? Okay. Okay. Yeah, just pull the bolt. Can you pull it out? Or is it too tight?
You got it.
You got it. So the big one goes against the wall and the smaller one on top.
Yep.
Stick it back through anyway.
Yeah, I'm just trying to snake that wire.
If you'd rather have a socket than a wrench, I have a socket back there. A short on a short.
Oops. Actually, 1 second. Let me pull that back out and.
Okay.
There we go. Like that. I think.
Okay. 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 We put the solar controller on the, we put the battery connection on the ground bolt. We have the positive battery connection on the main terminal for the mega fuse bar. And this, so the battery feeds it right here. So this gets the battery. Now I will zip tie these wires up to be a little bit neater. And then we can go on with the battery installation.
So her name's.
Okay, so zip tied up the wires. So we've got everything wired in, the battery and the solar panels. And the panels have their own circuit breaker, and you can use this as a switch. So you can close it and then open it. So this is open and that's closed. So that's the circuit is completed and the circuit is open. And the same with the battery switch over here. Closed, open. So you can use this just like a switch. That's what's nice about using circuit breakers. And so we're basically done now. Move the solar controller to the battery box. We're ready to install our battery. And now I'm going to go in and complete the circuit inside where we removed this solar controller. Okay, so now I'm going to hook these positive wires together. This is the battery positive. I marked it. And this is the solar panel positive that I taped up because I didn't want to worry that it would touch anything hot. So basically we're going to first put the positive wires together, and then we will put the negative wires together. I'm just going to go ahead and cut this off so I can get a clean. Uh-oh, I almost put the wrong ones together. Uh-oh. Yeah, make sure you're putting the negatives together. And make sure you put your heat shrink on first, or you will Alright, I like to do 2 crimps. Make a good connection. Nice connection. Alright, the negatives are done. Alright, nice connections, nice and tight. Heat shrink. Okay. Alright, well, this is done. Push all this back up in the side. This is the refrigerator, by the way. Alright, so all that's back in there, that's fine. Okay, we're done. Solar. The battery is in. Fabulous. Okay, so All right, so we got the solar controller moved and the battery in, and good enough for this go around. Till next we meet. All right, Lithionics Boss 302, perfect fit for a Wonder. A minute or so. Why don't we go to your Victron app?
Yeah.
Let's do your settings for your solar controller. Okay, yeah. Okay, now, all right, so you call up your solar. It says it's putting 11 amps, oops, sorry. It says it's putting 11, almost 12 amps into your battery, bulk charging, see right down here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now hit your settings cog. Hit battery. Okay, so now it should be 12 volt, 30 amp. Charger enabled. Hit user defined. Hit user defined again. Okay, toggle expert mode. Okay. Okay, so now you want to put in 14.4 for absorption voltage. Then you want to put 13.4 for float. Then you want 0.1 for rebulk voltage. Is that right? Okay.
Set.
Absorption duration fixed. Absorption time 30 minutes. That should be 30 minutes. Tail current 10 amps. Okay. Let's see what else you got. 0%. Nothing on equalization. You can disable that. Well, yeah, you can leave that low temperature. I would change that low temperature. Oh, that's fine. Just leave it on there. Okay. Well, no, don't do a low temperature cutoff, because if you're going to do anything, turn it down to like 32, because the Lithionics battery will keep it 35, so I don't want it to be too close to the Lithionics battery, keeping it between 35 and 40. So
Okay.
32 would be fine. Okay. All right. So you're done with the Victron. Okay. So let's go back and look at the Lithionics battery. It should be getting, according to that, it's supposed to be getting 11 amps. So let's go back and see if we're seeing something like that over on the Lithionics battery. And there you go.